On February 28, 2026, the U.S. military launched Operation Epic Fury against Iran. B-2 bombers went in first, cruise missiles followed. Then on March 19, the top U.S. generals stood at a Pentagon podium and confirmed something unexpected: attack helicopters. AH-64 Apaches flying missions over the Strait of Hormuz inside Iranian airspace. A 40-year-old helicopter built during the Cold War, now flying in one of the most dangerous airspaces on the planet. Nobody predicted that. But here's the part that actually matters. The Apache isn't just filling a gap while better options get ready. It's solving a very specific problem that even the most advanced jets the US owns simply cannot fix. That's the real story here. And by the end of this, you'll understand exactly why.
Right.
Iran spent decades building a military that was never designed to beat the US in a head-to-head fight. Iran knows that kind of fight ends fast and badly for them, so instead they built something smarter, a military designed to make every US move as expensive and painful as possible. They built swarms of cheap one-way attack drones called Shaheds. They built small, fast boats to operate inside the Strait of Hormuz. They scattered mobile missile launchers all along their southern coastline. None of those targets need a B-2 bomber. What they need is a platform that can fly low, stay in the area for a long time, and deal with slow-moving threats close to the ground or water. That's not what jets are built for. That's where the Apache fits perfectly. The Strait of Hormuz carries roughly 20% of the world's oil supply. If that waterway gets shut down or disrupted, energy prices move immediately across the entire globe. Iran understands that leverage completely. By March 19, 2026, US forces had already destroyed 44 Iranian vessels that were being used for mine-laying operations, confirmed directly by General Dan Kane at his Pentagon briefing. That kind of work happens at low altitude, in tight coastal waters, not at 40,000 feet in a fighter jet. Speed is what makes a fighter jet useful, but speed becomes a problem when the target is a slow, low-flying drone weaving through terrain, or a small, fast boat running through a narrow waterway at night. A jet can't slow down enough. A jet can't stay in one area long enough, and when you fire a missile that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to shoot down a drone that Iran built for the price of a used car, you're losing that financial exchange every single time. Iran built its entire drone program around exploiting exactly that math. They didn't need to shoot down US jets. They just needed to make every intercept expensive. The Apache changes that equation, and that's not a side benefit. That's the central reason it's operating in this war right now. The AH-64 carries a 30mm chain gun that fires 600 rounds per minute in short, controlled bursts. It carries Hellfire missiles for harder targets. It can fly low and slow. It can stay in an area far longer than any jet. It runs advanced sensors and night vision systems, operated by a two-person crew sitting in a tandem cockpit, one behind the other. Shooting down a Shahed drone with that chain gun costs a small fraction of what any missile system would cost per engagement. The math alone justifies the platform's presence. CENTCOM confirmed on March 16 and March 18, 2026, that the 617th Air Cavalry Squadron, part of the 4th Infantry Division's Combat Aviation Brigade, deployed AH-64D V-14 helicopters into the theater. On March 8, 2026, the UAE Ministry of Defense released footage showing 8 Iranian Shahed-type drones destroyed by AH-64 Apaches using nothing but the chain gun. According to the aviationist's technical breakdown, that engagement was the first large-scale confirmed use of the Apache in a dedicated drone-killing role. Don Bentley, a former U.S. Army Apache pilot with 10 years of experience, including time in Afghanistan, told Task and Purpose that pilots took standard ground attack techniques, short bursts designed for armored vehicles, and applied them directly to aerial targets. A tactic developed on the fly, confirmed effective in live combat. The Apache has real limits in this environment, and being straight about them matters. Its range is short compared to fixed-wing aircraft. In airspace where the enemy still has working air defenses, it would be extremely vulnerable to radar-guided and heat-seeking threats. The only reason Apache operations work here right now is because the U.S. established what General Kane described on March 4 as localized air superiority across the southern flank. Electronic jamming aircraft overhead, constant surveillance from satellites and drones, and aggressive suppression of Iranian air defenses created a window where the Apache can operate without getting shot down. Remove that protective layer, and this conversation changes entirely. The Apache doesn't belong in contested airspace alone, it belongs in a team. Right now, it's operating inside a carefully managed and protected environment, and that context matters if you're going to understand what this platform can and cannot do. CENTCOM also confirmed no additional U.S. Army aviation units have deployed beyond the existing brigade rotation. The Apache commitment here is controlled and deliberate. That tells you the military views this as a precise tool for specific conditions, not an open-ended escalation. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth publicly stated that U.S. forces destroyed more than 10,000 enemy targets in under 1 month under Operation Epic Fury. Inside that campaign, AH-64s handled the low-altitude, slow-target work that no other U.S. platform addresses as cheaply or effectively. At the same time, in Iraq, Apaches were striking Iranian-aligned militia groups to keep U.S. forces and U.S. interests protected, confirmed by General Kane at the same March 19 briefing. 2 separate theaters, 1 platform. Same logic applied in both places. Here's the question I want you to answer in the comments. Should the U.S. Army be putting serious money into upgrading the Apache specifically for the drone hunting role right now, with new ammunition and dedicated counter-drone systems? Or is this platform already past its peak and those resources belong in purpose-built counter-drone systems designed from scratch? 2 honest positions. Real arguments on both sides. Drop your answer below. The Apache's confirmed role in Operation Epic Fury tells you something honest about the gap between how wars actually get fought and how defense budgets get planned. Every major spending cycle for the past 2 decades pointed towards stealth jets, long-range missiles, and 5th-generation technology. A 40-year-old helicopter flying slow and low over a maritime choke point didn't fit anywhere in that vision. But the battlefield doesn't care about the vision, it cares about results. Iran designed a threat built around making every U.S. response slow, costly, and visible. The Apache answer is low-cost, persistent, and efficient. It doesn't grab headlines like a B-2 strike. It just keeps producing confirmed kills at a cost that doesn't hand Iran a financial win on top of everything else. The most expensive platform is not always the right one. Sometimes the right answer is a 40-year-old helicopter flying low over a body of water that moves 20% of the world's economy, doing exactly what it's needed to do, at a price point that makes strategic sense. Wars don't wait for the perfect weapon, they use what works.